said. TVS check.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the stream 10 minutes early. I'm just going to clean up a little bit and organize, that way I get the camera to face next to the car, kind of in it, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm removing everything. I've been sick. I got sick basically right after all the live streams last weekend. I've been sick all week. And today is the first day I've been really feeling well enough to get up. And I really want to get some stuff done in here. So I figured I'd go ahead and stream while I'm here. So my voice is going to sound kind of funny. I might be a little quiet. I might not talk as much, but what the heck. Figured I might as well stream it, let you guys see kind of what goes on day to day. The stuff where I'm not just filming for a video. So I don't think there's anybody in here yet, but I'll go ahead and say it now if in case anybody wants to watch this live recording later. So I'm going to go ahead and get started organizing over here a little bit, just off camera, and then we'll move everything over to the car and we'll start pulling out some crap. Do a quick tool pickup from projects I've been doing recently. I've learned I am a much happier garage worker when I know my stuff is put away. Last time you were all here for the live stream over New Year's weekend, obviously with everybody coming over and us having a bit of a party here, I didn't do as good of a job cleaning up after myself as I wanted to. So now that I'm back out here on my own, I am hoping to get some stuff cleaned up real quick before we start the main stream.
Torres said, "Go Will. A yellow Festiva will be my next."
Oh yeah.
Tracy Higher Arm Wrestling said, "What's up, brother?"
What's up? How's it going? Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Tracy, both for showing up. Yeah, yellow's been my favorite color since I was like 4 years old. So when I learned that you could have a stock yellow Festiva, that kind of became my end goal. So really excited to finally have a yellow to build up to make my own. And Tracy, welcome to the stream. I'll go ahead and tell you guys, since I think you two are the first people here, I've been sick all week. So this is the first day I've been feeling well enough to be back out here. So I might sound a little stuffed up and be a little bit quiet sometimes. But we're going to push through. There's stuff that needs doing. What do you want? Yep, stuff needs doing. So today we're going to be removing the rest of the interior. There's some door cards left, the dashboard, and that'll give us a nice easy view so you guys can see what we're doing to install the rest of the Rio rack. And also everything on the inside is still covered in mold, so I need it all out so I can either clean it or trash it, depending on how bad it is.
Higher arm wrestling. Said. Just trying to relax, just got done moving into the new place and still on the lookout for a festie that one in Illyria was rotted out.
Yeah, congrats on the move. I didn't see all. I saw you send me some pictures. Like I said, I've been sick, so I haven't been on my phone a ton. But if the one you're looking at was the one that Jordan was selling for like $1,800, I think it was, it's a pretty decent car. I know Jordan took really good care of it, but yeah, it had some rust. Jordan actually drove that red one to the meet last weekend, so it was actually here. We worked on it a little bit while he was down here. The rust on that one was not terminal yet, but I mean, you couldn't fix it. I think the one Jordan was selling probably has, if you dailied it in the winter, it'd have like another, I'd say 4 or 5 years left in its lifespan before it became just too bad to drive. But otherwise, it was really mechanically sound. It was a nice car. But he already sold it, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much now. Somebody did finally buy that from him, which is good. I think we're just going to throw this fuel filter away. I don't need it anymore.
Higher arm wrestling. Said. Know that one already sold the red L+. Tracy higher arm wrestling. Said. Jordan's.
Yeah, Jordan sold his, I think, basically like 2 days ago, I think it was, right? 3 days ago? It was nice. Well, decent.
Higher arm wrestling. Said. I wanted to grab that one, I like his aqua a lot, lol.
Jordan's? Oh, his blue one? Yeah. I think that blue is a Toyota color on his nice one. He had it repainted. It looks really good. I think Jordan's doing a great job with that one. Alright, let's see if we can just move this whole setup closer to the car. It might drop out a connection, or it might drop out the sound, so just a forewarning.
Higher arm wrestling. Said. I gotta start unpacking, I'll be in and out of chat, thanks for the live stream again, glad you feeling better.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely, just hop in and out whenever you're free. Every view hour you guys give me helps a ton. And I know there's only a couple people in here right now, but I will say, after the advice from Charlie last weekend, I went ahead and made playlists on the channel. So we have a playlist for like vlogs, a playlist for guides, and then a playlist, I think, of old live streams. If any of you like to leave the TV on for your dog, or like to just let stuff play in the background when you're working, whatever, if you hit play on that playlist, it will play through the whole list without stopping, and that gives me a bunch of watch hours, which lets me get paid by YouTube later on this year. So if anybody's interested in that sort of thing, or like just leave a TV running for your dog when you're out and about, stuff like that, I went ahead and set up the playlist just for that reason, just to really help boost some of these numbers up. Alright, so pardon the camera movement as we go ahead and scoot everything closer to the car for the interior view. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride.
Taylor Enterprises said, "Good afternoon, man. What a great-looking yellow Festi."
Thank you, and welcome. Glad to have you here, Bill. Wish you were here, but great to see you on stream anyway. Finally as a viewer instead of as a stream manager, so welcome. See, what else can I do here? I feel like I used to have some rope out here somewhere.
Turkey Gobbler said, "Hello from Illinois."
Turkey Gobbler, hello and welcome. Glad to have you here. We're recovering just enough from this cold that I feel like I can be out in the garage and not die. So.
Taylor Enterprises said, "LOL, yam watching on my phone and streaming via Angie's TV too. Gotta get those watch hours up."
Fantastic. And for those who are just joining us, I was saying earlier, I actually built some playlists on the channel now to Charlie's advice today. So if any of you like to leave the TV running for your dog, or when you're out and about, just to have something playing in the background, or when you're trying to sleep, now you can just go play the whole playlist start to finish, and it will play like all 20 of my guide videos in a row without you having to press any buttons. So it's a good way to get my watch hours up if any of you happen to have a TV or something sitting idle, or just some dogs you want to entertain, whatever, stuff like that. YouTube actually changed the requirements. I think now you get paid less, but it requires less watch hours. So instead of having to get 4,000, I think now I only have to get 3,000. So that should be a little more obtainable for anybody interested. All right, I'm just trying to hold the door open so you guys can see what I'm doing in the car. There we go. All right, and hold on to your hats for a second because the stream is about to get very sideways. we're scooting the old telly into place so I can see and hear y'all's comments. So now right next to me as I'm working, I'll be able to see everything. So go ahead and get all that plugged in, plug in the laptop, and then we can get to work. Okay, TV is set up. Go ahead and do a quick test, make sure our audio is good.
Will Sambit said, TDS test 2.
Alright, looks like we're good to go. I think we're going to start with the dash and then move on to door cards because I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. Actually, yeah, it looks like the camera's kind of picking it up already. All this brown gunk is like dirt and mold. And the steering wheel is moldy as heck. The dash is a bunch of it. It's all very dried out and very gross. When I bought the car, it had like no carpet in it, and the interior was already kind of torn out. The seats were absolutely disgusting. I threw those away basically immediately. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend going to watch the yellow car video on the channel. Just on the main channel, I have a video called Finally Getting My Favorite Color, Festiva. I went through and talked about the day I bought this and showed how it looked, and me and Bill cleaning the whole thing out. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish that job, take out the door cards, take out the dash, and probably take out the belt liners. I'll probably leave the headliner for now. It does have to come out and get cleaned or replaced, but that'll probably be a job for another day. But once I have the dash out, I can easily show you guys where the column fits into the steering rack.
Said, it looks better than when we drug it out of that mud hole though.
Yes, there is so much less mud in here than there used to be, that is for sure. But it's still very gross in here. So I'll just get the Phillips and the 10mm and we'll start tearing this thing apart. I'll go ahead and take all the last little bits of trash out and we'll get started. With the sickness right now, I can't really smell anything and I can barely taste, so I'm going to take that as an advantage and do this job because it does smell in here, if you could smell. Since I can't, we're all good. Taking out some miscellaneous hardware and stuff from the automatic that we no longer need. otherwise bring the tool cart a little closer by. But for this job, it's mostly 10 mils and then some Phillips bits, which are actually, like I mentioned before, JIS bits. So got the JIS screwdriver here. And then, if you haven't seen my dash removal guide video, I suggest you watch that. I'm not going to go over every step as I do it here because I made a whole guide already. But my one sneaky tip for doing those top bolts of the dash where they're stuck under the windshield is this. I've got just a little 10 millimeter socket meant for a 1/4 inch drive impact gun. You take one of these and you take a 1/4 inch ratchet wrench, gear wrench here, and now you have a very small 10 millimeter ratchet you can sneak up in tight places. So that's my fancy hack for moving dashes right there. But we'll start with things like the plastic surround on the column, get the glove box out, get the radio out, and get the climate control stuff out. I clear off the space to put all the bits and bobs that we removed today. Steven was also kind enough to grab me this from his parts cars. This is the intermediate joint for the steering rack. This is the part that we were missing last weekend to finish the job. Now that we have it, we can finish the job. Alright, radio first. Wow, it is so gross behind this radio. Like, there's so much dirt in this dash. And it looks like probably mice at some point as well. No surprise for how long this car was sitting. Alright, factory radio unplugged and removed. Do not cut these out. They're the factory plugs. I sell the adapters on the Festiva store so you can plug in any radio you want. Just leave the factory plugs alone. They work great. Don't cut those. So I need a bit of a bit extension to reach into the glove box. Not a problem. It looks like a lot of the climate control wires are actually already unplugged. I wonder if somebody's been in here in the past. Yeah, so we just got one plugged in down here.
Said, "Yo, Red."
Hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Alright, it's getting hung up for some reason. Let's see if we can find what it's stuck on here. But two cables are
Said, "Oh, it reads it out loud. That's wild." Wearily. Said, "What are you pulling it?"
trying to get the climate control unit out. It's a little stuck on one of the clips back here, but so I'm getting all this out so we can pull out this moldy old dash and then the moldy old door cards, and then we will continue with the steering rack install. With the dash out, you guys can really see how that U-joint system works.
Enterprises. Said, "Can be a pain sometimes."
Yep.
Inkle. Said, "Hi, Will. Looking good, man."
Thank you, sir. It's looking all right. There we go. That's what you can see right there. Fighting the plugs now, and all the wires free. Being an AC car, this has a couple extra plugs stuff in the back. And again, I'm hoping to keep AC on this build, so we're gonna try to remove all this carefully for the most part. Alright, so there we have it. One AC control spider out. Now we'll work on the steering wheel and the cluster, this whole zone up here, get all this stuff out. Try my little cheaty bit set up real quick on this screw, just so I don't have to go grab a short screwdriver. This is a rear defrost car as well. We're going to do our best to carefully remove all our defrost switch equipment.
Enterprises said, a stubby JIS would come in clutch right there.
Yes, and I have one. I said I'm going to go get it. Those vessel screwdrivers we were talking about last weekend, they come in stubby and full size, and I have one of each. So I would recommend that. We're going to rotate this out of the way and unplug our defrost switch so we don't break anything. There we go. There's our bezel out. Now we can get the cluster out, and since the trans is already out of the car, we don't have to worry about unhooking the speedo cable. We've done that already. Being a genuine 90L Plus, this has a white tack cluster, so we're definitely going to make sure we pull that out carefully. I'm going to try to pull it out from the side. Come down to the top there. Unplug the cable.
Said, what's the plan for the yellow one? Besides changing steering rack?
So long term, this will be the car that I do the B6T swap guide on. So it's going to get manual swapped, G series, B6T. I'm going to show how to do the wiring, how to do the engine mounts, the whole kit and caboodle, top to bottom. And then I'll be doing the custom interior and stuff. I'm going for all purple and yellow parts. And then later on, after the swap guide, probably next year, I'll actually take the B6T swap out. I think the long-term goal is to do a Kia A6D with EFI ITBs. That way I can keep AC. This will be my AC street car. It's the NA ITB. It'll sound really good, be decently fast, full coilovers, etc. And then when this is halfway done or most of the way done, we're going to go back to the JDM Festiva V2 and finish it. So you can see it just off screen over there in the corner. It's getting a very nice JDM B6T. The full works, bigger turbo, tons of stuff done in the engine. I'm going to shave the engine bay, make it just exceedingly clean. But that's going to be a long time because I'm trying to make that car perfect. And because I'm trying to make it perfect, it's taking forever. So this one will be less perfect. I'm looking for like 90% good on this one instead of 100%. That way I can actually get something done. And I think I'd like to go ahead and remove the steering wheel. And we'll do it the... I suppose we'll do it the right way. We'll take the horn pad off.
Cobbler said, "Don't let perfect stand in the way of good." KG, this is me, said, "Good to see that you are mobile again, call me Hand."
Thank you, thank you. Don't let perfect stand in the way of good. I know, it's just hard. Ever since I saw how beautiful Charlie's build was, and I learned that if I take a buttload of time, or a buttload of money, or both, I can do the same thing. I've been trying to on V2. So I'm not going to let perfect stand in the way of good on this one. It's still going to be perfect for V2. It's just the way it's going to be. But I'm trying to not let the perfect get in the way of this car. So we're doing it the right way this time. Because JD Festiva V1 was honestly one of the best Festivas I've ever had because I didn't have to care about it as much. It was a zombie, basically. Every day I drove it, I knew it was going to be dead soon. So I was able just to do whatever I wanted to do it. I had fun with it. And that was actually really enjoyable. I love that car. So I want to be able to have fun again in this car. I'm just going to do it. Just going to get it done and have fun and drive it. I have been daily driving my LX, which is fantastic, but it's like as stock as I can get it. It's B6D swapped, and it's got wheels on it, and that's pretty much it. I'm trying to keep a really clean stock example of an LX, which is great. I mean, I love stock Festivas, but it's just not me. Loud, obnoxious, slammed to the ground, noisy, annoying. That's me. So this car will be all those things. Alright, nut halfway off. Break the steering wheel free. There it is.
Arson said, "Cool. We'll definitely follow the build. Good luck, Will."
Thank you, thank you. And not all of it's going to be on live. Live has just been a fantastic way for me to get my analytics up. So, and my watch hours are very important to get YouTube to be a financial benefit to me instead of just a big time sucker, which is fine. I love doing it for you guys, but it does take a ton of time to edit and make videos. But here's the steering wheel like I was talking about. It's pretty nasty. You can see all the little nasty, if it'll focus here, all those little nasty dots up in the rubber. On the flip side, I mean, you can just see all the mold spots up on top there. This is after we wiped the interior down a ton. Oh yeah, look at all that. So
User
it's got to go.
said, "Live is also nice because you have buddies in the garage even when solo."
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having you guys here on the chat, especially with this, when it reads it out loud for me, it's really cool because then I get to interact with you guys, having some friends out here, just having a good time, chilling in the garage. No rush. I'm not trying to make every angle perfect to show it for a guide like I normally would, so it's a lot less stress for me. Super cool. I really appreciate all y'all coming out here.
Enterprises said, "I can smell that mold from NC Yuck."
Oh yeah, it's gross. And I'm still sick. I'm kind of tired of being sick. I've been sick all week, but it is nice that I don't have to smell this right now, that's for sure. So I need a little extension reach for this one. Where is that extension at? Oh, there they are. Hide in the corner. And there it is. Okay. Now our clamshell can come off. Oh, sounds like I dropped a screw, but I don't see it. That'll be a problem for a different me, I suppose. Okay, clamshell off. I'll leave that, well, no, we'll just take it off. Why not? Just some plugs to undo, nothing major. Loosen the clamp of it. Wiggle it off some.
Enterprises said, "You will find it when you're not looking for it."
I have a feeling it went down into the seat rail, so we're going to need a magnet to get that thing out. Also, good reminder here, if any of you want to upgrade your switch to have 4-speed intermittent wipers, you can get them brand new on the festivastore.com. As a matter of fact, we just spent a ton of money to replenish our stock, so we will have like 210 of these things available brand new for you guys. So please buy them. Alright, multifunction switch out. Then we gotta take this little piece of plastic out, which is just held with these little pins, which I don't want to lose, so I will keep that one there. Put the key over here so I don't lose it. If you have lost your keys, or if somebody's replaced your ignition, you have the wrong ignition cylinder, your locks aren't correct, we sell complete lock, ignition, and key sets on festivastore.com. So you can replace all 3 locks, the ignition cylinder, and get 2 keys to go with it. Alright, back to the 10 mil. We will start taking apart dash components. Actually, I think I'm going to switch over to the 14 for a moment. And we're going to drop the column down, or 10 first to get the bracket out of the way, then the 14. We're going to drop the column, and since we don't have it plugged in the rack, the column will actually be completely free to just pull out of here. So it'll be dangling by the wires a little bit, but we'll kind of drop it down, show you guys how loose it is, and that really helps installing it later when you have all that freedom of motion. Alright, support bracket. Okay, I found that screw. Look at that. More luck. Little rubber caps.
Enterprises said, "Told yeah, LOL."
Yeah, it was faster than I thought it would be, honestly. While we're in here with the interior almost stripped out, is there anything you guys want to see? Anything on a Festiva before that's like, hey, what does it look like behind the dash? What's up with that AC box or anything like that? This is a good time for some interactivity. If you've ever been watching a guide in the past and thought, I wish he'd go back and show me something really quick, here's your chance. 14? No, we need a 12 for those bracket bolts. My bad. Now, since this car is automatic, there's actually a little cable that runs all the way from the shifter behind the dash up to the lock cylinder, and that moves this little thingy that keeps you from turning the key off when you're in gear and keeps you from starting it if it's already off and you're in gear. So it's a little movement thing that locks it out. So we're going to pull that off, and we'll be throwing all that away because we do not want this car to lock the keys up since we no longer have an automatic. We're manual swapping it. And there's a little Phillips screw holding the little bracket on. And there we go, it is out. We'll save that screw. And then from here, it's pretty much all 10 mil stuff. Oh, and the fuse box. We'll want to pull the fuse box out. So I'll take the lid out real quick. I think my fuse box door just broke. I think it's the first piece we've had actually just totally fail in this car. I do have a few more of those, but it's a bummer. Anyway, 2 screws pulls this out. And we can't exactly remove the fuse box yet. The fuse box actually stays with the car. You unscrew it, and then as we pull the dash out, you kind of bend it out of the way and shove it back into the wiring harness. Again, if you want to see that properly, you should definitely go check out the guide for this whole thing. Next, I'm going to grab our pick, which I left in here. And there are these little plastic covers. Probably won't show up on screen, but there's one there. And there's one in the corner here. There's a bolt behind the clock delete panel. Another clip there, another one on the other side. You just pop those clips out to unveil the hidden 10 millimeters that are holding the dash. So we will pop those out. Just like that. And these ones are actually pretty baked. I'm trying not to scratch them too much, but you can probably see how dried up this is. If I just touch it with something, it's just leaving big, deep gouges in it. I'm barely touching it with this. So they'll definitely have to get repainted or something. I mean, it's so dry, it's actually flaked off. You can see the corner is flaked off like a chip over here. Generally, though, you do want to be careful with those. Clock delete panel. Another clip. Open this door up. And another clip. Alright, now we just gotta pull out all these 10 mils, pull out the 10 mils on the bottom. Let's see if I can, there we go. Down here, there's some 10 mils holding all that on. There's some in each corner in the back, a couple right here that we already pulled off. And then there is the ones up top that we will get with our little contraption that I showed off earlier, which is a quarter drive ratchet wrench, and a little quarter drive 10 mil. That makes a very short little tool to help remove the dash bolts up top. Let's go ahead and start with those while they're all easy to get to. So we'll just sneak this guy into here. Almost out. Alright, and these are kind of special. They are a shoulder bolt. Again, I don't know if it's going to focus on that, but it's a shoulder M6, so keep track of those. One more of these over here.
Torres said, "Where is Bill today?"
Bill is right above you in chat at home. Alright, the other hard one is out. Now we should be able to smash through the rest of them with impact. And away it goes. Caught it. Rascal. Guys.
Enterprises. I'm at home with a nasty cold, Omar.
Did you catch it too, Bill? Man, I think my whole New Year's party got infected. That happens, I suppose.
Enterprises said, "Oddly, I just got sick this morning, go figure."
Well, I suppose it might not be my fault then. Score next. And then once I have this halfway out, we got a couple more plugs to undo. There's a big, massive blue plug right behind the dash. That is for the dash
Enterprises said, "Not blaming you folks, lol."
Psh, I'd blame me. And then we have a wire that goes to each door. There's a plug for that goes to the dash harness. So make sure we unplug both of those as we get this thing pulled out. There's also our vent tubes that go to our AC system. As you pull it, just make sure you disconnect those so they don't stretch too hard. They're pretty durable though. It's not too hard. So there's one door harness here. And another one over here. We got the bolts near the hood release handle. One going in and one going up. Now, I'll also note this is a little different on Carby cars. They have a slightly different dash setup. So this one, it's kind of dark, I guess, in the zone, but you can't really see. Let me see if I can light that up for a minute for y'all. Maybe. Anyway, there's this big black bar here. That won't be on Carby cars. It's a different setup, but same idea applies. You just find all 10 mils, pull them out, and you're done. That's pretty much all there is to it. We're currently just a little stuck on the hood release, so try to wheel it out a little bit without damaging anything. You can also get a wrench in and loosen the hood release cable so don't break it. A snapped hood release is very annoying. So I think maybe I'll just go ahead and try to loosen that a little bit here. Okay, I've released the hood release. Here's a big black bar. Out. I believe that is everything we need off. I can see the little pin right here that holds in the vent tube, so we'll go and pop that little pin out just so we can get that tube off. There we go. Should be the same deal on the other side. Actually, no, I think that tube stays on, if I remember correctly. Leave the dash tubes off. The vent tubes. Alright, well, let's just see if we can get it out. It's a little harder with one person, but still totally doable. You can see here, my steering column is loose-ish. The bottom bolts way down here are still in. The top ones are free though, so it's got some wiggle room. I'll move this out of the way. See if I can light up here somewhere. I'll put it around for now. I've actually got a big light behind me helping light up this, so hopefully that helps some. We kind of need to go up to get the bolts out of the holes they're in, and then out. This guy down here. There we go. One less bolt on the heat box. Okay, so dash is basically free physically, but we have to get that fuse box out of here and that big blue plug. So I will navigate the fuse box around. There we go, he's mostly out. Then I'm going to reach up in here There's that big blue plug I was referring to. Defrost hose is off. Blue plug is out. And that should be it. Ah, the other defrost tube. Back over here so I don't rip it up too much. Alright, I'm going to take it this way. I think it's a heavy thing. That's it. That is the entire dashboard. Okay, now that it's out, this would generally be our opportunity to really clean up in here. Get all this dirt out, get any signs of the mice out, maybe refresh some of this padding in here. So on the floor, we got this black padding, like the sound deadener / firewall padding. Somebody's been in here ripping up, getting the carpet out in the past, so it's just loose and dirty and flopping around. There's still built up mud up here in the front. So I probably need to really get in here in the vacuum and work on it some. All these seals, this would be a good time for me to do a guide video on replacing all these seals. So I think I'll leave that alone for now. We'll come back in here later on an actual guide video instead of a live stream and really show how to fix that. It's also a good time to show you guys where the ECU sits. I know I didn't point it out a ton last time, but right here, that's your ECU in your dash. So your gauge cluster sits here. This is where the steering wheel comes out. So right next to all that, ECU, right behind your fuse box, 2 yellow plugs right in here. As a matter of fact, I can probably scoot the camera in a little bit. There you go, just to give you a better idea of what's going on here. So there's the ECU, 2 yellow plugs coming in the bottom here. You can remove this without taking the dash out. It actually, up top, the bracket sits on like a little hook, and there are 2 10 mils on the bottom down here that you can access with the dash in place. You just gotta reach your ratchet up there very carefully, get those 2 10s out, unplug your plugs, lift this thing up off of its hook, and you can pull the whole thing down. Now that gives you a good idea of what it looks like. Up here is that old metal hook it sits on, and down here are the 2 bolts. But that would sit right behind your fuse box when it's in your dash. If I tuck all that out of the way a little bit, down here, above the brake pedal, this is where our steering rack goes in. And right now, it is just dangling loose because there is no intermediate joint. So that's what we're going to be doing either on the next stream or later today. We will be fixing up that U-joint so we can finish our Rio rack install. Ugh. Tell you what, being ill sucks. I am already worn out from doing all that, wrestling that stupid dash out of here. But there you have it. Dash is out. Gives us a lot more room to work on our steering rack. So, with that being said, and the fact that I am really done out here for now, just being ill, I'll probably be going inside and working on a couple of my models, modeling some Festiva parts. So I will bring it up to you, the last 5 or 6 people in here watching right now. Would you be interested in a live stream from indoors with a view of my computer screen and possibly me in the corner as we work on some Festiva stuff? 3D models, looking at some stuff in the store, trying to find sources for some parts, things like that, stuff I normally do when I'm inside working on Festiva things. A great time to ask questions. I can pull up any of the documentation or the cool Festiva brochures I got. I've also got some Mazda 121 material inside. I've got some of the JDM parts catalogs, stuff like that, some other cool stuff. If anyone wants to join me inside, see some of that, let me know in the chat. I think for now, I'll pack up a bit in here, but if that's something you guys are interested in, I will just go ahead and go inside and start this stream right over again. Basically just do a pause and bring it right back. Otherwise, if nobody's interested in that, I'll probably just go in and do that anyway, just on my own time, and we'll probably call it here for now, so that way I can continue to recover before I use up all of my energy here before I go to work tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to close some of this stuff up real quick in the chat. Let me know what you guys want to see. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and just end it here then. Only a few of you left, and so thank you guys for coming out, hanging out for a bit in the garage. Really glad we got that dash out. Only like, what, 40 minutes or something for the whole dash just by myself? That's not bad at all. So again, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. See ya.